Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to give you your July 2016 mid-month readings. Just wanted to make sure my volume is all the way up. So yes, July mid-month readings already. I hope you guys have had a pretty good first couple of weeks to the month, and we'll see what the remainder of the month holds for us. I am using my beloved Gilded Tarot card deck, and even though we're focusing more on the last half of the month than the month in its entirety, I will still be using the same 8 card spread with an additional ninth card as your crowning card representing the overall energy and feeling over the reading. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign as well because your primary sun sign may not resonate as predictively for you. It's going to resonate differently for different people as it always does depending on who's watching and what's going on in your life because there's so many of you all coming from different backgrounds and different lives, of course. You may find that your rising and your moon signs may apply more predictively for you in your life in different areas of your life as well as I do. So make sure to check all three at the beginning of the month and for mid-month readings as well. Thank you to those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. Your feedback and love and support is most welcome and most appreciated. I'm very grateful for it. Thank you so much. And as I always say, keep those comments coming. You guys are great at giving feedback, and I love reading it. I check in several times during the day, but my favorite time is logging in with my first cup of coffee in the morning and reading all the comments, particularly those that you put on the channel itself and the ones that some of you send via email on how the readings are playing out so predictively in your own lives and your own stories. And I find them absolutely fascinating. So keep those up. Don't ever start. I love them. And a special thank you, as I always say, to those of you who continue to keep me so occupied with personal readings. I love doing personal readings. It is my favorite thing to do. And I thank those of you who place their trust in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you and for continuing to keep me updated on how predictively they apply to you moving forward in your lives. Thank you so much to all of my clients, both my first time clients and my regular ones. It's an honor. And if any of you are interested in a personal reading with me, you can click on the About sign on my YouTube channel's homepage. You can click on that little About button, and that'll give you some more information in detail on myself, the services I offer, and how to contact me. You can email me directly at Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. So if you're interested, send me an email and we will go from there. I do readings full time, so I'm very good at getting back to you quickly and setting up a reading in as timely a fashion as possible. I'm always asked about turnaround time, and it's currently anywhere from 1 to 4 or 5 days, almost always within a week, depending on scheduling and time zones and clients rescheduling. Sometimes I get uh, times opening up at the last minute that I can schedule people in as well, but almost always within a week. So, again, if you're interested, send me an email. So, enough of that. Let's get right into this. This reading is for Sagittarius for July 2016, mid month. God, Spirit, Angels, Guides, show me the energies of the vibrant and playful fire sign of Sagittarius. July 2016, mid-month. What does the remainder of July hold for my fun-loving Sagittarians? Sagittarius, July 2016, mid-month. Okay, we start with the Three of Cups, followed by the Empress, the Ace of Wands, followed by the Two of Cups, the Temperance card, paired with the Eight of Swords, the Five of Cups, followed by the Three of Wands, and from the bottom of the deck, your crowning card, overall feeling and energy, is the Seven of Pentacles. Wow, Sagittarius, it's really interesting. It's like you have the first two sets of cards, and then the second two sets of cards, and almost like a distinct difference right in between the two of them. Let's just take a look. Again, just like with the other signs I've done so far for the mid-month readings, a lot of reflection and assessment, taking a step back, planning for the future, looking ahead, making decisions on whether something is worth starting or continuing to invest in. But for you, it looks like kind of being patient and moderate. I'm feeling kind of a sense of impatience and impulsivity, just wanting to kind of leap ahead and push something forward without thinking too much about it. So let's begin, Sagittarius. We find ourselves at the middle of July 2016 with wow, there's a terrible glare, with the Three of Cups. We'll make it really fun and just kind of do this all the way through. We have the Three of Cups followed by the major arcana card of the Empress. So the Three of Cups, nope, that doesn't help either. I'm sorry for the light, Sagittarius. So Cups is governed by the element of water, and so the suit of Cups is about that watery, fluid world of feelings and emotions, which are very mercurial and can go up and down all the time. The suit of Cups is also a suit that often represents love and relationships, relationships of all kind, love and romance, family, friendship, work, etc. The Three of Cups is primarily a card of celebration. I've often heard it referred to as the party card, but of course it has a much deeper significance than that. It is a card of celebration. There's a strong social theme with the Three of Cups. It's about spending time with people in whose company you feel very good, very comfortable, very authentic, having a good time. This speaks of parties, celebrations, events. And there seems to be, with a lot of the signs for the mid month, a theme around parties and events seem to be significant or important for the month of July. So don't turn down any invitations, Sagittarius, if you get any. Something might happen in a good way at an event that you may be invited to, whether it's a wedding, anniversary, barbecue, graduation party, anything like that. This is about spending time with a lot of people that you really, really like and having a really good time. It's also about taking the time to enjoy the things that you have in your life and feeling also gratitude for the blessings you have in your life, both the small, simple, everyday ones and the big, unexpected ones as well. Now, the Three of Cups is paired with the Empress card, Major Arcana card, Fingers of the Divine, as I like to call them, because the Major Arcana does represent those divine energies, the particularly significant and profound divine energies coming down to lead us, guide us, advise us, help orchestrate certain things for us, and sometimes help remove situations or people from our lives when we are unable or unwilling to do so. But the Empress is all about fertility, rebirth, pregnancy, growth, sustenance, feeding. This is the yes card for the time being right for new things. It's the time to begin new things. The Empress is the yes card for that. Being all about fertility, it's saying that the ground is ripe to plant seeds and begin to nurture something and watch something grow. So again, if any of you well, paired with the Three of Cups, I mean, you can read this a few different ways. And of course, as it always does, it's going to resonate different ways. The Empress is also about self-care and self-nurturing because she is all about nurturing and feeding, growing, fertilizing things. She is the traditional Earth Mother of the tarot. She combines the best of the invisible, intangible, spiritual world with the tangible, sensual, physical world as well. There's also an energy of nature around this card too, being in nature. And since a lot of this reading seems to be oriented towards or at least advising you to reflect and assess a situation, take a step back, consider your future, maybe do some more practical planning for your future. Getting in touch with nature is a good way of clearing out energy and helping you kind of focus and make decisions when you think about things. So, if you live near a park or greenery or anything like that, you may want to, on a regular basis, kind of connect with that because it helps kind of clear out energy and focus, especially during times of reflection and assessment. So, paired with the Three of Cups, what does this mean? The Empress and the Three of Cups. Well, this can mean that the time is right for you to celebrate something, to have a party, to organize something. This may be the time to make announcements, to celebrate anniversaries, etc. I'm feeling though for more of you that this is more of a desire-based, desire-driven sort of combination. I feel like I feel for a lot of you almost a sense for these next couple of weeks, almost a champing at the bit, just really wanting to be impulsive and spontaneous. I think for a lot of you, the energy of this combination of the Three of Cups and the Empress is it's about wanting to break free, wanting to go out and enjoy yourself, wanting to throw caution to the wind, wanting to put aside, at least temporarily, responsibilities and problems and issues and thoughts about the future and just go out and have a good time, celebrate, be with the people that you love being with, and kind of forget about other issues for a time. I feel kind of the sense of, oh, I'm just tired. I just want to have a kind of a screw it kind of day and just. I just want to dump responsibilities for a while and go out and enjoy myself. Wanting to really push ahead. Again, the feeling is kind of like I want to be impulsive. I want to be spontaneous. I'm tired of thinking about the future. There's a sense of wanting to break free, break out of something that you feel trapped in or restricted by. And for a lot of you, I feel like this is relationship oriented. Although it again, it can play out differently and will for different people. In terms of balance of elements here, we have 3 cup cards, 2 wands, 1 sword, and 1 pentacle. So it could play out in any sector of your life, but there's more of there is a lot more energy focused on emotions, feelings, and relationships. So for a lot of you, that's what this is going to be oriented towards. And I'm feeling, again, a sense of feeling held hostage or feeling trapped or just restricted within a situation, within a relationship, within a certain path that you're on, and just really around the middle of the month, you're just wanting to just wanting to kind of throw caution to the wind and just go out and party, just or spend time with people that you enjoy being with and just kind of put the responsibilities and planning on hold for a bit. And that's continued in the next set of cards, which is the Ace of Wands paired with the Two of Cups, traditional soulmate card. The Ace of Wands, this is all about new beginnings, new action oriented, fiery, passionate, enthusiastic, creative new beginnings. The Ace of Wands. Wands, the element of the suit of wands is governed by the element of fire primarily and secondarily of air. So when you think about that combination, fire and air, it's a very dynamic combination, and it's the suit of wands is a very dynamic suit. It's all about change, movement, action, power, forward momentum. The suit of wands is about the creative and passionate manifesting energy that we put behind our ideas and our dreams to begin to make them reality. It's almost a primal drive of just passion, creativity, manifestation. That's the energy of the suit of wands. And aces represent new beginnings. They are the one. They represent seeds, potential, promise. Again, and that empress is saying, the empress, the energy of that empress is about the time being right or wanting the time to be right to plant seeds, to have new beginnings, to start something. So this ace of wands would represent a new beginning, a new path, just the beginning part of it though, the unfolding. This is the very beginning of the process. The ace of wands could manifest as kind of an aha moment, a really great idea that you get. the start of something very enthusiastic but action oriented. It represents seeds which have the potential to be built into something quite beautiful, quite enthusiastic, quite creative. This is a very creative card as well, new beginnings, but just the beginnings of them. Remember that aces represent seeds, and everything contained in a little tiny seed, it has the potential to grow into a great big beautiful tree or a bush or a flower or whatever it is. But seeds need to be planted, fertilized, watered, and nurtured so that they can grow into their full potential. Because if no action is put into this, the Ace of Wands could fizzle out as an initial idea or a start of something that isn't carried through and could just kind of fizzle out. So remember that for new beginnings, it must be followed through with. And what would this be a new beginning about? Well, it's paired with the Two of Cups, which again, it's that suit of emotions, feelings, love, and relationships. And the Two of Cups is universally referred to as the soulmate card, the twin flame card. It can represent the union, a union between two people, like the perfect match, being really well matched together. I'm not talking about two perfect people in a perfect relationship because, of course, no such thing exists, but just all the puzzle pieces fitting together. This would represent in relationships two people coming together, and it's more than just physical and chemical attraction. It's about a meeting of the mind, the heart, the soul, the spirit. It's about having the same goals, the same outlook on life, the same belief system, etc. It's just about things fitting very well. In job or career, this would represent a job that's really great for you, not only in dollars and cents, but there's not a long commute. You don't have to pay for parking. It's not too far from your home. You like the people that you work with, you like the environment, that sort of thing. At its most fundamental definition, the Two of Cups represents a really great union of two entities, two people, two companies, etc. It's a great union. So, what does this mean with the Ace of Wands? It's about it's about moving forward and beginning, having a new beginning, a new start, a fresh start with somebody else. And again, this could be in job or career, spiritual matters, but I'm just feeling it's again relationship oriented. This could represent going into business with somebody else, but I'm feeling like it's more emotional than that for the majority of you watching this video. It's about having a new beginning with somebody that you feel is your soulmate, your twin flame, or your heart mate, even if it's just your best friend, like just somebody that you guys see things the same way, and you're wanting to have a new start, a new beginning, and you're wanting it to happen now. I feel like, especially considering the rest of the reading and the surrounding cards, again, it feels, I think patience and balance is going to be key for you, Sagittarius, for the next couple of weeks, because I feel like for some of you, this is going to be being in a relationship that's just wonderful. You feel like you've met your soulmate, your twin flame, and you just want to move things ahead right now really fast. You just want to celebrate, announce it to the world, charge right ahead, get married, get on a plane, move in together. It feels like you just like this energy of just wanting to be spontaneous and impulsive and just forge ahead with this person. For some of you, it's going to represent this is what you want but don't have, or perhaps you're in a relationship or a situation or on a life path, particularly with the next set of cards, that you're feeling restrictive in your life, and this is what you dream about, this is what you long for, this is what you fantasize about, this is what you want, and it just almost, the feeling is almost that you've just got to have it. You just want to break away from where you're at right now, and it could be the relationship that you're in is maybe stagnant or at a stalemate, or you feel trapped by it somehow. You feel like you can't get out of where you're at to have this new beginning or to have what you want, to walk away from everything. And for some of you, this is the start of a relationship that's really beautiful. You really feel like you want to push it ahead quite quickly and quite enthusiastically and passionately, but for some reason, you feel like you don't have the ability to do that right now, and you feel trapped and restricted by that. So we move on. So we have those first two sets of cards, which are all about passion, desire, enthusiasm, wanting to kind of lunge forward and run and um, be spontaneous and impulsive. And then it's like the energy shifts And we have, next to all of that, we have the major arcana card of Temperance, followed by the Eight of Swords, which is a card about feeling restricted and feeling held hostage. Just let's start with that one. The Eight of Swords. So swords is a suit that's governed by the element of air. So swords is a suit that's all about that airy, intangible world of ideas, thoughts, words. The suit of swords represents our perspectives, our mental outlook, how we look at things, our belief system. It's all about what goes on up here. And the Eight of Swords is a card, well, as you can see, about being in a place where you feel held hostage, you feel restricted, you feel like you don't have the power, you don't have control over your own life, or you're not able to make the kind of decisions that you want to make. And I feel like, again, some of you, this is going to be wanting to take a relationship uh, in a new way or continue this new beginning quicker and in a way that you feel that you can't. You feel restricted and unable to do this somehow. For some of you, you're in a situation or relationship that makes you feel like you're held hostage or trapped, or perhaps it's an unhealthy, controlling relationship and you want to break out and have a new start and get away, but you feel trapped, like you can't. But it's an illusionary energy. You actually do. But it's about, this is a card of being kind of almost mentally out of control, letting your thoughts and your fears and your concerns overwhelm you. But the reality of your external situation says that you do have the power to free yourself. And it's echoed in this card. You can see that this woman is completely encircled, held hostage, if you will, by this. She's fenced in by all these swords. Now, these swords, since it's about thoughts and ideas, can represent one way of looking at the situation, a belief system that you feel you're trapped by, or a whole series of thoughts. For those of you for whom this represents an unhealthy relationship or a relationship where you're no longer happy, you feel like you've given your power up to this person. It feels like there's no way out, that you don't have control. But these swords that are encircling her, if you pay attention to this picture, the gaps between these swords are actually wide enough that she could easily walk through them. She's on her knees on the floor in the middle of this, which implies a kind of a victim mentality, feeling helpless, feeling vulnerable. She's chained up at the wrist. She has these chains wrapped around her wrists, but yet they're not attached to anything, and nobody's holding the other end of these chains. With a simple twist of her wrist, they could fall off. She could stand up on her own 2 feet, remove this blindfold, which is an indication that she doesn't know what to do, feels trapped, feels powerless, doesn't have control of her own life or her own actions. But it's illusionary. She actually has the ability to free herself from this situation, even if she feels she doesn't have to. It's illusionary energy. Again, it's a card that speaks of feeling trapped, but you're not really. You do have the power to walk away from this situation, to free yourself from it. Again, for some of you, this is going to be being in a relationship that isn't right for you. Perhaps it's abusive or controlling, or just it's not where you find your joy. It's not a good match. You want to break away, but you feel trapped. You feel that you can't, but you can. That Eight of Swords energy is letting your thoughts get out of control, letting your emotions and your thoughts get out of control. They're telling you you're powerless and helpless when in fact you're not. So it's about getting back in balance, getting your thoughts and your feelings back in balance, because that Eight of Swords above it and paired with it is the Temperance card, which is all about temperance, balance, moderation, harmony, holding opposite extremes in perfect balance and perfect harmony, as this woman is doing: fire, water, air. She's staying balanced in all of these things. This is about finding your center, throwing out that Eight of Swords energy, taking that blindfold off, letting the chains fall off, and walking through, not letting your thoughts and your emotions be out of control and tell you that you're powerless when in fact that you're not. You want to break free, you want to move ahead, but somehow, for some reason, and you'll have to let me know how this plays out, give me feedback, you feel trapped, like you can't, but you really can. You need to bring everything back in balance. Bring your thoughts, your emotions back into balance. Look at the reality of the situation. And again, two cards that represent looking into the future and planning for that too, which requires a balance to be able to do that, not being spontaneous and impulsive and doing something which you may regret later just because you feel trapped right now. So in your desire to push something forward or break away from something, you make decisions you may regret. Be balanced, be temperate. It's about finding your center. It's kind of like a seesaw or a teeter-totter. If you're on one end or the other end, you're always going to be up and down, struggling to maintain your balance, fighting not to fall off. But when you find your balance in the middle of that, no matter how crazy the ends are seesawing up and down, you're in the middle. You have your balance. Your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts stay tempered, temperance. So that's what this is about, and that is how to overcome the energy of this Eight of Swords, this fear, this concern, this way of looking at something that has you feel trapped. It's about saying, nope, that's not true. I do have the ability to walk through this. I do have the ability to free myself from this situation. Or for those of you who want to move ahead with something you're already in that feels quite like the beginning of something quite beautiful. Still, don't be impulsive and spontaneous. Be balanced and think things through, because rushing ahead with something may potentially ruin it. So, at or towards the end of July 2016, we have the Five of Cups paired with the Three of Wands. So, the Five of Cups, again, that suit about emotions, feelings, relationships, etc. This is a card, I call it, this is a card kind of being stuck in the past. It's, I sometimes refer to it as my crying over spilt milk card, because it's about spending way too much time, attention, and focus on what you no longer have, what's changed, what you lost, what you feel maybe has been taken away from you, when in fact, there are still blessings in your life and opportunities coming along that you're not noticing and not appreciating. You can see on the front of this card, this man is sunk down on his knees in the grass, and he's in grief over these spilt cups, these three goblets, which are tipped over and spilt out, representing something that he has lost, something that has been taken from him, whether by the actions of somebody else or by perhaps unwise decisions of his own. And all of his attention and focus is spent on that, about something that's already happened, something from the past. But this isn't the Three of Cups, it's the Five of Cups. Right behind him are these two beautiful goblets, golden glowing goblets, still upright, still full, representing something which remains, which can still be salvaged, or blessings that are still in his life, or opportunities that may be coming, but he may run a risk of missing out on those or losing things that he still has, because he's not noticing these. He can't even see them because his back is turned to them. Why? Because all of his attention and focus is being put on what no longer is, what he cannot change. So the advice of this card is that there's a time to honor, you know, to honor the grief and the loss and the sacrifices that we've made. But then there comes a time when we need to stand up and turn our back on it and move forward into our future, because this is a card about being stuck in the past, and you can't look two directions at the same time. If all your attention and focus is back there, that's where you're looking, and it's not forward moving, and it can represent being stuck and being stagnant, being stuck in past loss, past grief. Now, the Five of Cups is paired with the Three of Wands, which is the exact opposite energy. This is, again, that suit of Wands. It's all about future, forward moving, but it does require a little bit of patience. Even though the suit of Wands is primarily an action-oriented suit, it is about change and movement and forward, going into the future. The Three of Wands, out of all the cards in the suit of Wands, the Three of Wands is probably the most slowest, out of all the cards in the suit of wands, the three is probably the slowest, because it's more of a card of patience, gestation, and a bit of waiting. uh, the Three of Wands represents being at a place where where you've invested, you've set the stage for something, you've built a foundation for something, you've done all the work, you've done all the research, you've invested everything you can, and you've made a start, and now you're waiting to see what the outcome is, how something plays out. It's about being in that place where you're planning for something in the future, something that you really want, something that's very important for you. And this represents being at that place where you've made your start, you've done everything you can, and now you're waiting to see what happens. which is what this card shows. You can see this man has his back to us. He has these two wands planted in the ground behind him, and he's holding on to the third one, and he's watching this ship, whether it's leaving or coming. He's waiting to see what everything that he's done, everything he's invested is going to be bringing back. So when he sent the ship out, it was with a lot of hopes and dreams and ambitions and work, etc. And now he's waiting to see if it's going to come back full, if it's going to come back empty, half empty, is it going to be worth it? But this is it's a good card. It's a positive card. It's about the future. It's about being hopeful that everything that you've worked hard for is going to pay off for you in this goal, this thing that you want so much. And this is the key to overcoming the energy of the Five of Cups. This is a card about being stuck in the past, of stagnant, no energy, not looking towards or building for or planning for the future. And the key to overcoming that is the Three of Wands. It's about doing everything that you can, and then trusting and hoping in the future, trusting in the divine, that as long as you do the work that's in front of you to do, your future is going to be bright, and having patience about that, because it does require a certain amount of patience, which I feel is going to be a struggle for you for the remainder of July, Sagittarius. One, because whether you feel restricted in moving forward in the way that you want fast enough with something that looks like the beginning of something beautiful and bright, or whether you're already in a situation or a relationship where you want to have new beginnings, but you feel you want to break away from where you're at or who you're with and move forward into this beautiful new beginning. However it resonates for you, the bottom line is still the same for all of you watching. You're at a place where you feel restricted, you feel trapped, like you're not able to move in the way that you want to. And what is it that you want? Well, it's something to do with your future, something beautiful about your future. But again, it's about balance. The advice, it looks like, is I know you want to, and it's not to say that you can't move forward, but it feels like you're struggling with being spontaneous and impulsive because you feel trapped. And a lot of times in those situations where we feel trapped and desperate and claustrophobic in our desire and haste to move away from it or to push forward with what we want, we sometimes act too impulsively, too spontaneously, and make decisions that we later regret. Particularly, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. That lovely fire energy that you have sometimes is a challenge when it comes to being patient and temperate and balanced, and bringing your emotions and your thoughts and feelings into balance for the remainder of July is key for you, Sagittarius. And it's going to be the challenge for you. But I know that you can do this, because if you rush ahead, it looks like you may run the risk of ruining something that you want very much in your future. Um, and for those of you, I have to say, for those of you for whom this represents a relationship that you're in that's unhealthy, you feel like you've given your power up to this person and you have no control, no ability to be able to break away or break free, particularly if it's an abusive relationship. You do. You can just simply get up and leave, and maybe that's going to require a sacrifice and leaving a lot of things behind. But you do have the power to do that, because your future is bright, and it's only by freeing yourself from this that you're going to have this beautiful new beginning, and down the road actually be with somebody that appreciates you and values you for the beautiful person that you are. But again, however it resonates, the advice is to be careful about how you do it, and you're not actually trapped. You do have the power to remove yourself from a situation, or forge ahead into this future, this goal that you have, but you need to be balanced about it. And again, that's key, because it looks like your challenge is your thoughts and emotions are not balanced. They're kind of out of control. And it's about finding that center, channeling the energy of the Temperance card, and the Empress as well. Be balanced, be temperate, and make sure that when you're looking ahead to the future and planning for it, that you don't. act so impulsively that you end up ruining it or leaving in a manner that isn't beneficial to you. Um, Take a step back for the remainder of July, Sagittarius. Look at things in a practical way, in a grounded way, in a balanced way. Don't rush ahead too spontaneously or impulsively and make unwise decisions that way, but don't also get stuck in that being trapped energy and not move at all because you say I can't. There's no way out. I don't have control. I can't do it. It's about just taking a balanced, moderate look at things, figuring out how to get to what you want, and doing it in a step by step temperate way. I feel like I'm repeating myself, which probably means that I am, so I'll stop. It's just the message that I keep getting echoing in my head. You can have what you want. Be balanced about it. Don't let your emotions get the better of you for the remainder of July, Sagittarius. And this is echoed in your crowning card, which is the Seven of Pentacles, which is the only Pentacles card that you have. Pentacles is governed by the energy of Earth. So the element of earth. So it's all about things in our earthly, tangible, material environment, things we can see and touch and feel. Often pentacles is like money, finances, job, career, property, house, etc. This is a card of harvest, but of reflection and assessment. Again, same theme. It's about taking a step back and looking at something and going, okay, this is what I've invested in this, and this is what it's yielded so far. Is it worth picking and continuing to invest in, or should I stop this and think about growing something different? Um, because this is also, in order to reflect and assess, you have to take a step back, which is what the cards are advising. You have to take a look at what is the reality of the present circumstances. What am I getting out of this? Is it worth it? And then look forward into the future and say, okay, what's my end goal? And is being in this, is continuing to do this, going to help me reach the goal that I want in the future? And if it's not, then the answer is this is not a good harvest and you need to move on to something else. Or it could be, yes, this is worth continuing. It's worth investing in. I do have control over this and I'm going to continue to move forward. But you can't force it and you can't rush it. There's a time in which all things need to be planted and nurtured and grown in. If you force things, they will never grow to their proper and full and beautiful fruition. So again, Sagittarius, patience, moderation, planning. Don't let your emotions get out of control, even though it feels like you just want to break out, break free, leave it all behind, push it forward. You can have what you want, but the key to getting it is in how you work the process between here and there, if that makes any sense at all. So this has been one of those longer videos. Interesting. The energies seem to be a little longer so far for the mid-month readings. And hopefully you're still awake and not snoozing at your computer. So, Sagittarius, that wraps up your July 2016 mid-month reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it has brought, as I always do, some wisdom and insight and clarity, or at least that you found it useful in some way. Uh, Keep it under control for the remainder of this month. And thank you so very much for watching. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, and you can email me directly at Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. And I would be delighted to work with you. So I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the August 2016 general readings. And until then, Sagittarius, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I'll see you soon. Bye.